The Taj Mahal is a major site for tourists to visit in India. It took 22 years to build. An emperor named Shah Jahan built it in honor of his third and favorite wife, Mumtaz Mahal. Construction began a year after she passed away from childbirth. They were together for 19 years and had 14 children. India is part of the continent of Asia. Most of India forms a peninsula, which means it is surrounded by water on three sides. The world's highest mountain range, the Himalaya, rises in the north. The southeast is bordered by the Bay of Bengal, and the southwest is bordered by the Arabian Sea. India's terrain varies widely, from the Thar Desert in the west to jungles in the northeast. A fertile area called the Ganges Plain covers much of northern India. This formation was created from soil that was deposited by rivers running from the Himalaya. In some places, this layer of silt is over 25,000 feet deep. The highest mountain range in the world is found in northern India. What is this mountain range called? Rockies, Himalayas, Andes, Alps. What plain covers much of northern India? The Thar Plain, Arabian Plain, Ganges Plain, Bengal Plain. For thousands of years since the Hindu religion first evolved, respect for animal life has been an important part of Indians' beliefs. Cows in particular are sacred and cannot be harmed. They are even allowed to wander through the city streets, which sometimes causes traffic jams. India's varied climate zones support about 65,000 animal species, including elephants, pythons, river dolphins, and rhinos, and 12,000 types of flowering plants. It is the only country in the world with both lions and tigers. It's also a birdwatcher's paradise. On the coast of the Bay of Bengal is the Sundarbans, the world's largest mangrove forest. Here, tigers swim in the same rivers as dolphins, sea turtles, sharks, and saltwater crocodiles. This unique landscape is constantly under threat as sea levels rise and humans hunt illegally and clear trees for firewood. The Himalayan mountains provide a home for some of India's rarest animals and plants. The most elusive animal is the snow leopard. Bears and black bucks live lower down. In the northeast, the tiger and one-horned rhinoceros can be found. Which animal is considered sacred to the people of the Hindu religion? Tiger, lion, snow leopard, cow. Society throughout India is divided into social ranks called castes. Caste is determined by birth, and there is almost no way to change it. High castes include priests, landowners, and soldiers. So-called untouchables have no caste and do the most menial jobs. India has no official religion, but more than 80% of Indians are Hindu. About 13% are Muslim. Other religions include Buddhism, Sikhism, and Jainism, which all began in India. What is the level in the caste system that do the most menial jobs? Priests, landowners, soldiers, untouchable. Did you know? Holi is a Hindu festival in India that celebrates the coming of spring. It is also known as the Festival of Colors. To celebrate, people will throw colored powder or water balloons at each other. It is a fun holiday that joins families and friends together. India's parliamentary government was inherited from the British. After independence in 1947, one party, the Congress Party, and one family, the Nehru family, dominated politics in India for decades. Now, however, many parties compete for elected positions. India's economy is growing so fast that experts predict it will soon become one of the world's leading markets. Many Indians are highly trained college graduates. Where did India inherit their parliamentary-style government from? United States, Britain, Germany, Sweden. How long ago did India gain independence? 66 years ago, 54 years ago, 83 years ago, 73 years ago. India's earliest known civilization arose about 5,000 years ago on the Indus River in what is now Pakistan. Archaeologists uncovered the remains of two huge cities with brick houses, piped water, and sewer systems. Nobody knows why, but these cities, called Harappa and Mohenjo-Daro, were abandoned in 1700 BC. The Aryan people were farmers from Central Asia who arrived in India around 1500 BC. They spoke Sanskrit, one of the world's oldest known languages. The Vedic scriptures, writings that form the basis of the Hindu religion, were written during the Aryan reign. In the 2,000-year reign of the Gupta Empire, starting in the 4th century AD, arts, crafts, and scientists flourished. During this time, the Indian astronomer Aryabhata determined that the Earth revolved around the sun. This was long before the Western world accepted the theory. Beginning in the 16th century, following a series of invasions by Muslim forces, a Turkic-Mongol leader named Babur founded the Mughal Empire. The Mughals oversaw a golden age of art, literature, and architecture in India between 1527 and 1707. They built roads, mosques, gardens, and enormous tombs, including the Grand Taj Mahal. In the late 1400s, Europeans arrived in India and began setting up trading companies. In 1757, Britain took control over most of the country. Uprisings against British rule began in 1856. In 1920, the famous Mahatma Gandhi began nonviolent protests to push the British out. In 1947, India had independence. What language did the Aryan civilization bring to the region? Sanskrit, Gupta, Aryan, Hindu. Who started nonviolent protest against British rule? Sanjay Gupta, Mahatma Gandhi, Babur Mughal, or Aryabhata? Which two of the following sentences from the article include main ideas of the article? You should check two boxes. India's varied climate zones support about 65,000 animal species, including elephants, pythons, river dolphins, and rhinos, and 12,000 types of flowering plants. They are even allowed to wander through city streets, which sometimes causes traffic jams. India has no official religion, but more than 80% of Indians are Hindu. During this time, the Indian astronomer Aryabhata determined that the Earth revolved around the Sun. Which statement is a central idea of the article? The one-horned rhinoceros lives in northeast India. Priests in India belong to a high caste. The Aryan people in India spoke Sanskrit. India gained its independence from Britain in 1947. Which selection from the article is best illustrated by map 2? India is part of the continent of Asia. Most of India forms a peninsula, which means it is surrounded by water on 3 sides. The southeast is bordered by the Bay of Bengal, and the southwest is bordered by the Arabian Sea. India's terrain varies widely from the Thar Desert in the west to the jungles in the northeast. A fertile area called the Ganges Plain covers much of northern India. This unique landscape is constantly under the threat as sea levels rise and humans hunt illegally and clear trees for firewood. Which conclusion is supported in both Image 1 and the article? The Taj Mahal is an early example of architecture designed by the first civilizations to come to India almost 5,000 years ago. The Taj Mahal is a famous example of how architecture has been influenced by the importance of spirituality in India. The Taj Mahal is a strong example of how architecture flourished in India during its golden age under the Mughal Empire. The Taj Mahal is an interesting example of how architecture changed during the rule of the Gupta Empire in India.